Tonight we give our award, perhaps in the truest vein we've ever given it, to an outstanding Kentuckian who has indeed championed the cause of rural Kentucky. Longtime doctor, hospital establisher, and community friend, Dr. Louise Caudill is truly a distinguished rural Kentuckian, and we, Kentucky's electric cooperatives, are proud and honored to present her with our highest esteem. It all began in a small town in the hills of eastern Kentucky. Claire Louise was born on August 19, 1912, into the well-known Caudill family in Moorhead, Kentucky. The second of 5 children, she herself has said, Mama and Daddy had 5 children, 2 girls, 2 boys, and me.
We had a good time. We did everything we wanted to do. I don't believe Mother and Dad ever objected to any ideas we had. We were pretty well free. We were never cramped for money. They always saw that we had whatever it took.
Each had a responsibility for the other, and we were never indulged. Dad, he would let us vote on a lot of the things. He thought we ought to know, and I think that was wonderful. It taught us a great deal to be very specific in analyzing situations we would be in the rest of our lives.
Her father, Daniel Boone Caudill, an outstanding lawyer, banker, and judge in the community, was a firm believer in education, encouraging his children to continue with their schooling as long as they wished. Her mother, Etta Proctor Caudill, also believed in educating the children, but she believed young women should study in fields that would help them become ladies. So after graduating from high school in Moorhead, Louise followed her oldest sister Lucille to Ohio State University. She received a degree in physical education and took that knowledge back home with her to teach PE at the then Moorhead State Normal School, the forerunner to Moorhead State University. Though Louise enjoyed teaching, she knew she really wasn't fulfilling her lifelong dream of becoming a doctor.
How I wanted to be a physician wasn't really related to the family. I had a little boyfriend at that time, and he wanted to be a pharmacist. And his father owned a drugstore. We were going to work. He was going to be the pharmacist, and I was going to be the doctor, and I was going to get my pills from him. So that's where I got my idea of being, coming back here and working and being a country doctor. And I like this kind of people. I mean, to me, these people were down to earth and real. And that's the way my family had been.
She received an accelerated medical degree during World War II from the University of Louisville and began her first stint as a doctor doing obstetric work at a maternity hospital in Oneida, Kentucky.
And it was a great experience for me. I saw that you had to stand on your own feet. You had to make up your mind as you're right or wrong. It was up to you. And I was very fortunate. That's where I met Susie.
We were only there about 6 months, and Louise was looking for somebody to come help her start a practice in Moorhead, Kentucky. Well, she asked quite a few of them, and nobody wanted to come, so I finally decided, well, I'd try it out. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to take art appreciation, and I thought I would come. When I came here, I came to stay a year if it killed me. I would stay a year, that's all I contracted for. But then we got so busy, I couldn't leave. We were just really busy, almost from the very beginning.
Susie Hobleb, a native of Louisville, became and still is, after 49 years, Dr. Louise's right hand. The two became especially important to the other during their first years as doctor and nurse. Coming back to Moorhead, they opened up their first practice in a small second-floor office in a building owned by Dr. Louise's father. In addition to their busy practice, the two often did the arduous work of traversing every hill and holler in the area, bring babies into this world. After about 10 years, Dr. Louise and Susie decided the time was right to move from their second-story office and open a clinic to provide expectant mothers with prenatal and birthing care. This office was opened in 1957 right on Main Street in Moorhead and is still there today. Dr. Louise's modest facilities were what Moorhead needed at that time in the way of obstetrics, but a notion began forming in Dr. Louise's mind. What Moorhead really needed was a hospital, a good, modern hospital.
She really, one had the idea to go to help try to raise money, and she did. She got it established here in the county for a group that got together and raised money and got this thing started, and then we got one of the best batteries of doctors, and Louise, of course, they helped bring those in.
What so happened that the person who was in charge of hospitals in this area came by to visit one day. He said he was coming sometime. Well, that night we had had 2 sets of twins and a singleton in this little place. And he looked and he said, "This place needs a hospital." Then we had to get somebody to run it. Well, he contacted the Sisters of Notre Dame. They were closing a hospital in Lynch, Kentucky. And they agreed they would come and run it. So they have been here ever since.
And for our community to grow and for our families to be healthy and happy, we really needed a hospital in this area. And she didn't want what's called a laying hospital. That's a hospital in which people actually came and they convalesced versus receiving active medical care. She wanted something bigger than that.
When I came in 1960, we didn't have a hospital, of course, and Louise had the biggest and best facility in the community. It was a clinic. It was really a birthing clinic. As you know, she assisted in the birth of over 8,000 babies. She could see that there was a need for a hospital.
I hear tales like that real often, and it makes you feel good when you, and I tell you, an awful lot of them are pretty smart kids. They've accomplished a lot in this world. I believe if you had to have a list of all the things that all the babies have done that I delivered, daggone, you'd have a good world.
Well, she was very well thought, well respected, and competent, and everybody depended on her for most everything, and especially delivering babies, which was her forte from the very start. But she was easy to get along with and willing to help and cover. And
Well, I think really the doctoring of, seeing the patients, if they had money or if they didn't have money, it made no difference. She would still, see them. And we've had them from all of the areas, Fleming, Carter, Elliott, Morgan, Round, Bath. I mean, all of the patients, and it really didn't matter if they had the money to pay or not.
If you're her patient, you understand even more her philosophy of medicine, which I couldn't explain the whole thing. But she will talk to you, and I dread that I leave here and don't go to Louise anymore, because A, you trust her, B, she's human, C, she doesn't go off. She said so many years of experience.
Well, I think religion is awful important, and we haven't said much about that. See, I think medicine has a great deal to do with religion, and religion has a great deal to do with medicine. Many books are written now about the doctor and his relationship to prayer, and how medicine can actually benefit from the belief in that there's a power that can help you to do better.
A doctor heals the sick, and for over 50 years, Dr. Claire Louise Caudill has not only healed the sick and brought life into this world, she's rejuvenated the spirit of a small eastern Kentucky community, a place she calls home. Her mark, her legacy will be felt for years to come.
It's just a great satisfaction to help solve those problems. That's nothing that you see right immediately as a good thing. But if you do that day in and day out, you can see some value to it. And of course, you bring a baby into this world. There's nothing like in the beginning. And what happens between there and the tombstone is important. It's important to you and to everybody you come in contact with. And I've just loved living more than anything, I'd say.